This is lesson 3, activity 2. So I'm going to talk you through how to start drawing this. Okay, so we've set up our limits and everything. So here's the drawing here. So just be careful not to mix up the dimension lines here with the actual shape of the object. We can see the dimension lines there. I should probably increase the size of the arrows or something, or change the color on the dimensions so you don't get confused. But let's have a look here. We have the first corner point we can see in the bottom left. We have a coordinate of 75 by 55. So let's start off with the drawing line, and let's type in 75 comma 55 and hit enter. Gives us our start point. Then we have a horizontal measurement there of 300. So we pull the cursor in the correct direction, type in 300 and hit enter. I'm going to hit enter again because I'm just going to move this image up a bit. Okay, just zoom out a little bit, and I might actually move it over a bit more. Move, turn ortho off, move it up there a bit. Okay. Okay, so go back to the line tool, snap it on the end there, and we can see we have a vertical measurement there. Let's have a look here. We have a vertical measurement of 50, and then it's going in 30. Okay, right. Getting pop-ups and all. Great. So put ortho back on, F8, pull up there by 50, hit enter, come across then by 30, hit enter, and enter again. So there we have the first set of lines done along the bottom. Now let's go down here, and what have we got? So it looks like we have some coordinates in here to give us this corner point up here. This next corner point coming up from the next line coming up from the very bottom left corner point there. So it's 25 mil in by 85 up. Okay, right. So 25 mil in by 85 up, or sorry, 25 out and 85 up. Okay, right. So we get the line tool, snap it onto the end there, pull it across, type in 25, hit enter, come up by 85, hit enter and enter again. That'll give us that end point. Hit return to bring up the line tool again. I'm just going to snap it into the end there, snap in there, turn ortho off, F8, and snap the line up to the top there and hit enter. Now I can delete these two temporary lines, select them, click on delete. Now we have another measurement up there to give us that next one there. We can see it's 35 mil up. See, it's 35 mil up to that point, but we don't have the exact, we don't have an angle or a length for that at the moment. So let me have a look. So we're looking at 35 mil up to give us that point there. 35 mil up there. So we don't have any specified end point for this at the moment. So what I will do is I will draw a line up there at 35 mil. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the line tool, snap it on there, make sure ortho's on, F8, just draw a horizontal line, doesn't really matter what length. Select any point, hit enter, and then I'm going to offset. So we go up here and select the offset tool, offset, and I'm going to offset by 35 mil. Type in 35, hit enter. Cursor changes to the pick tool, select that and offset it up there. So I know that the end of that angled line is somewhere along that line there. So how am I going to find the very point where that meets? Well, let's go over and have a look at the drawing again. So we're going to have to move over now to the right hand side, because I see we have more information over here. We have a curve there, so we have an arc there. We can see we have a center point. We have a center point there. We have a coordinate for the center point. It's 300 by 170. And we have an end tangent point, so that's great. And then also along the top down we have that horizontal line. We have a measurement on that, so that we should be able to draw this curve, draw this arc and the horizontal line along the top. Then we can just drop a vertical line straight down, and wherever it intersects that line that we offset at 35, that'll give us that end point there. So let's type in the coordinates first of all. So it's 300 by 170 for the start point. So I'm going to select the line tool and I'm going to type in 300 comma 170, return. Gives us a start point. Just going to turn ortho off, F8, and I'm just going to draw a line there and just left click just to give me that origin there for our arc over on the right hand side. So let's go up here and have a look at the options for arcs or circles. So arcs, first of all, we have a start, center, end. Right, what I have a start, what I basically have here is I have a center and I have one tangent point. So none of them are really giving me that. Let's have a look at the circle options. We have a center and a diameter. Right, okay, center and a diameter. Center and radius. Center and radius would probably be the same. Because I have that tangent point, that is basically giving me the radius. So I'm going to go with center and radius. It says down the command bar, specify the center point. Well, it's the end of this line here. And then it says specify the radius. Well, I know that it's going to be snapping into the end of this line over here. Zoom in, make sure I'm snapping in properly. Grand. Okay, I can get rid of this here for the center point, I think. So now I have this curve here. So now, if I look over here, I can see that I have this curve here, and then just as it comes up to the tangent point there, I have this straight line at 180. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to try and find this point along the top, basically the top tangent point. So if I go in with the line tool and let me start bringing it around here until it snaps in for me there. Okay, so that's that point, the tangent point. We're going to put ortho on, F8, pull it horizontally. We're going to type in 180 because that's the length of that line. Enter and enter again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter to get me a line tool again. Snap that on there, pull a line down vertically, left click and hit enter. Right, so now what I want to do is do a little bit of trimming. So actually, first of all, I'm just going to draw, because remember that line I offset by 35. So where this line has intersected that has given me that end point there for that. So I'm going to select the line tool, snap it in there, turn ortho off, F8, and then snap that line down there and hit enter. So now this is a temporary line. I can get rid of that, delete that. That is a temporary line, get rid of that. And now I need to do a little bit of trimming. So I'll go up here and I'll select the trim tool, come down, trim that off. Now I need to trim this off that circle there, trim that off, trim that off, and trim that off, and hit enter. So that should be my point there. So that should be the shape, and we can see it looks pretty good. We can go in and check it, of course. We go back, double check all of our measurements just to make sure. Okay, so that's the outside shape for lesson 3 activity 2.